Are we back? Bruce, you joining us or are you leaving? Where were you going,
Checking
Bruce?
the prices on the TVs.
I wanted to see what the diagonal on the set was. Give me a break here.
Hey,
We're trying to talk politics.
shopping.
Bruce is checking the diagonal on the set here at Circuit World.
He's window
So what'd you
shopping.
come up with? We all want to know, what was the diagonal on the set?
86.
86. There you go. Thanks for that report, Bruce. I'm
I
sorry.
left my phone at home.
You're just gonna. Well, not that you don't look over me. Look over me. Which one should it be? Overlook me.
If you look over me, for what?
I don't know. On a weekly basis, just for being out there somewhere. We're at Circuit World this morning.
Neither are none of the above. I don't know what you're
Oh,
saying.
I can't stand either, neither, or either, or weither. I can't stand.
Those multiple choices
Let's get
are
going
crazy.
here.
Either, weither.
We are at Circuit World, and yes, folks, we are in May, and it's that time of year where we moved to Sycamore Crossing. We were a little late getting wrapped up on baseball. The storms were coming in, and we were expecting a little rain, so we wanted to play it safe. Jane, we're going to probably be over at Sycamore Crossing next week. Hopefully that'll be the week that we get outside, and I look forward to it. I always love being over there, but
Will there be hot hors d'oeuvres from the kitchen?
We'll see if Tom can bring us some hors d'oeuvres with the tea from Tupelo Tea.
Ooh-wee.
so Bruce has the diagonal on the TV, and then he went to hors d'oeuvres. I can't answer any of this. Guys, all-star political panel. Rick and I will try not to use baseball references to
It's okay.
explain things. We'll make that attempt, right?
Right. You might hear swing and a miss.
I may be a girl,
Guys.
but I'll get it. I understand it.
You were not there. Let me tell you a little something about this guy.
Oh, geez. Here we go.
I heard some of your banter.
Nice
wish I had
banter.
remembered.
Okay, so this guy over here
Yeah.
gets too excited. I had to calm him down.
Please.
2 weeks in a row, I had to calm him down. Like,
Yeah.
sit down, Rick,
I
please.
can't get a word in edgewise.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm trying to call the game, and he wants to talk about the third baseman's over there tying his shoe. We got 4 beautiful cameras out there. Lonnie's at the
4.
helm working the cameras.
4.
And instead of calling the pitch count, he said, "That looks like he's got a hangnail."
Lonnie, do not. You better not get involved in this. We'll get off the baseball right after this. I got to bring up one young man because I can bring up the whole team. Rick and I have to share this. Gabe Buchanan. God, I love this kid. Mr. Consistent. He's a junior. He's 29, third baseman. He is batting 400. I mean,
His
he
number
is.
is 29,
And-
folks. He's not 29 as a junior.
Check his birth certificate.
One of those guys, huh?
That's a misplaced modifier,
That's
by
right.
the way.
That's a misplaced modifier, correctly?
Yeah.
Correctly said?
Yeah.
Lonnie, will you put that in your notes for me to study this afternoon? Misplaced modifier.
Listen, we got an English teacher here.
Almost like misplacing the mic in front of Rick. It's not like he's going to use it.
I'm getting the
Wow.
picture.
All right.
This is the All-Star. Let me know.
Rim shot.
Okay. Gabe Buchanan. Will love this guy. A junior this year. He's batting 400. He is a good batter. Had the only hit last night. That screamer down first, okay? But the joke that I make, because I love this kid, is you know why he's batting 400?
Why?
So he can meet the first baseman and say hello.
Yeah.
How about his hello ump last night? Did you love it?
We looked down at the home plate, and there's the umpire. This he's an older gentleman. He did a pretty good job last night. And there's Gabe, who's about 6'4", standing next to him with his arm around him. You know, talking to him like he's his old uncle.
Yeah. How are you?
How
Was the
are you?
drive
How you
okay
doing?
up here?
Yeah, yeah. Was your drive into the mountains? Did it go well?
It's seriously, Coach. I talked to Coach last night. Coach Stone, thank you very much. Talked to Coach. I've talked to his grandfather and everything. They say he does that because he says that keeps him comfortable. That keeps him loose. It takes pressure. That's what he says. So he will. He'll actually, he'll get to second base. And he'll actually look at the second baseman while waiting. So, what motel did you guys stay in last night? Where'd you guys eat? Did you enjoy it?
He's trying to get the second baseman thinking about
But
breakfast.
I got to give it to him. So let's move on. I could talk baseball all morning. All-star political panel. This week I did a little segment this week on, President Trump went down to, it's a Panama City.
Panama City Beach.
And the area, the amphitheater area holds about 7,500.
It was more than that, but anyway.
No, wait a minute. It holds 7,500, and then attached to it is 10 acres. It does hold more because the amphitheater area is 7,500, and then there's a 10-acre tract attached. It's called their festival area.
Okay.
So it's overflow, but that's approximately 10,000 people show up. And I made a little joke the other day, and I played clips and everything like that, and I said, did you see those 10,000 people show up screaming at Trump, release your tax returns? Right? You know,
yeah, right.
Right. I mean, is that what they were screaming?
That's exactly
Were those
No.
10,000 people showing up and saying, we demand the unredacted Mueller report with the underlying evidence?
And we want your kids too.
Right. And then I made a little joke because there was a video clip of the president coming down from Air Force One and being greeted by the governor, Ron DeSantis, is that his name? And
DeSantis.
Thank you, Bruce. But being greeted by the governor, and you know, you can't hear what they're saying, and I paused it and I said, I can read lips. I said, do you know what the governor just said to the president
go.
of the United States? Mr. President, you have no choice. You've got to release the tax returns, and you've got to give us the unredacted. And so I'm just being like, they're just showing up. Biden can't get 150,
He
250.
can't.
There's no Democrats that can get over 1,000 unless they're paid, brought in. Here's your T-shirt.
They're going to have
wear
to
it.
start doing that too.
Well, I mean, the Democrats know it's early, and there's, 23 people running?
Okay,
You
Doesn't
know
matter.
they'll come together at the end, whoever the
Wait a
candidate
minute.
They will
that-
coalesce.
they'll come together. That's when the big rallies will hit.
LEC.
But let me say this one more time and ask you if you remember this, okay?
Coalesce.
When Trump came down the escalator, okay, to announce he was running for president, and Melania was wearing that white, never forget that, will you?
Never.
That was nice.
I love that woman.
So Melania and Donald's come down the escalator. He makes the announcement, Mexican, rapists, all, they go nuts. But remember that day, I remember it all too well, they wrote all the articles that in the lobby of Trump Tower, Trump paid all those people to be there. Remember that? He paid them. They weren't.
I don't remember that.
Go
I'm sure you're
Google.
correct.
No,
I'm
go
sure you're
Google that.
correct.
Oh, a lot
I
of them
just don't
were
remember
paid.
that,
A
yeah.
lot of
I
them.
didn't know that.
A lot of them were told to be there on their lunch hour. Whatever. Go read. Crowd was the crowd.
Legitimate, huh?
Legitimate, right? But think about this. In the primary, because I like what you just said, the Democrats are going to say, well, we got 23 candidates, and when we come together, the rallies will be bigger, our supporters will be out there. You take for the time Trump announced as a primary candidate, it didn't take 60 days for that Trump plane to land and thousands of people there to hear what he said, even among 17 Republican candidates. True or not?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You remember in Iowa, he took the Trump helicopter out there to the fair,
Giving the kids rides.
right?
Oh, and the
Remember that?
pilot kept saying, "Is that enough?"
Yeah, right,
He
but
said, "Nope."
the
down,
point
good
I'm
pitch.
making, and I'm glad you said exactly what you said, because Democrats cannot. The candidates, Joe Biden, all of this, they cannot bring together a willing group
Yeah,
that want to take their afternoon off.
dummies. They
Want
should.
to drive an hour and a half, want to stand in line 45 minutes or 3-4 hours or get there 6 hours. They can't find one person to do that. Remember, Trump did that. Trump was gathering massive crowds before he ever became the nominee. Agree or disagree?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
totally,
was.
Yeah.
totally agree.
I have a side note. One
Take
reason
off.
the Democrats aren't going to
Coalesce.
coalesce and get together and have a lot of these guys coming together is that many of them before the elections are going to be in jail. I'm thinking. Hello.
You're way off base.
Hello.
of
Okay,
the
we're taking a
candidates,
bit.
none of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
candidates.
yeah. You don't think? Yes,
Can they
the
campaign?
Democratic candidates. There's only 97 of them.
Can they campaign from jail? Because Bernie wants them to go
They can
vote.
campaign and vote. That's true.
Yeah, but the odd thing is, I
Some
mean,
of them are just
you know,
criminals.
Comey, Mueller, Rosenstein.
Yeah, they're gonna-
Yeah, they're all Republicans. They're
Well,
registered Republicans.
Rhinos.
you know,
Mm.
well, let's think of another name that's worse than Rhino.
They are.
Let's
Well, I think some of them are gonna get it. Like
let's.
Biden, for instance. Do you know Biden's gonna, I mean, he can have indictments against him. I mean, they've now brought out the thing about his son and him.
Ukraine and
yeah,
China.
And that's all out in the open. That is.
We
not-
talked about that on Wednesday.
Yeah.
We did
Biden,
an hour of the show, so.
Whoa,
It
I
is
didn't watch
it is
you guys.
amazing. It is amazing to me that right now, and I watched again this morning as I was setting up here, MSNBC, and it's amazing to me that the Democrats are making Biden their candidate, and that
I don't know if they have a choice.
They need
Well,
somebody.
wait a minute.
They need somebody to the center. I mean, some of the
Exactly.
other ones are, so far left.
well, let me
they
ask you a
they know
question.
they're not
He's
going
You
putting his
say
foot out.
that, so what does to the center mean? You think Biden's to
different
the
than it
center?
used to, I'll
Do you
tell you.
think,
Compared to
or
the
do
other
you think
ones?
they could
Yes.
sell him to the center?
Well, they're going to have to. They're going to have to. I mean, because otherwise you're going to end up with, Buttigieg or who else is more of a
Kamala.
Well, maybe.
I think they can beat Trump. I really do. I think they think they
yeah.
can.
Yeah.
But
Delusional.
I think the reason you have 21 candidates, you have 21 candidates for a reason.
2024.
Okay, look at this. I mean, it's like New York City. We got the fans outside the window. So, all right. The reason you have 22 candidates, you're looking at people that have aspirations of being a cabinet member. Really.
And I think some of them are setting up for 24 too.
Yes, but I think Kamala Harris wants to be Attorney General. I know what you just said, but Rick, how far off am I?
No, I mean,
Sounds good to
well,
me.
when you look at the locations of all of these candidates too, they're going to get a certain amount of votes in their area, whether it be Ohio, Minnesota, Wisconsin. There's a candidate from each one of those areas. New Hampshire.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but here Biden's already said, y'all think China is going to be a problem
Oh, my
for us?
goodness,
I mean,
yeah.
I
give
read-
me
no.
a break. And his facelift, it was horrible. Have you noticed he had a huge
Oh, he's had work
facelift?
done here.
Huge. And he just looks,
Well, he
He's
started
got scars
saying,
behind his ears.
oh, you know where he's got scars. I'm telling you that.
easy, what's with you this morning? Holy mackerel,
3 cups
Batman.
of coffee.
Okay, so all the candidates now, I'm not saying this for a joke. I'm really not. I want you to know this. Before I say this I'm very serious.
He's in his deadly earnest.
Here it comes.
Scratching
Rick,
his head.
I know
Stand by.
I know you watch the show and you probably have this. If Joe Biden gets elected president of the United States,
I'm leaving the country.
okay, easy. I know you have flight arrangements.
Yeah.
Next flight. If Joe Biden becomes president of the United States, he will add a cabinet position, an actual cabinet position.
You can't do that.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Don't you have to go through
Yeah.
Congress and everything?
Well, I don't know because
Anyway.
we got Homeland Security. That wasn't
Yeah.
a cabinet position.
Okay.
So
He's
will
gonna add one. I
He
can't
will
wait to
add
hear
a
what it
cabinet
is.
position. Okay. Which one do you think he'll add?
Someone to keep his blunders under control. A blunder
Blunder?
gun.
No.
Blunder buster.
Good move,
Blunder
but we're
buster.
going to have to go there. What cabinet position?
I don't know.
It will be named to Mayor Pete, and it'll be the secretary of the LGBTQF community.
I
And the
know.
F I added on. I think F should be there because I think you should always have flamers. So that's mine. No,
I didn't know where they was going with the F.
no flamers, right? So I think the F. I'm serious. I'm very serious. They will add.
That's not outrageous.
They
That's
will
not
add a cabinet
outrageous,
position. The secretary of coexist or unification or
Diversity.
diversity or something. They will
Yeah.
because let me ask you this:
That's an
what has the media? I always say the media painted a picture. Okay, what do they keep painting? Is how divided we are. How the
Cause of
tears
them.
between us. Rick, tell them, you and I got an actual opportunity with the Redan Raiders and the Fannin Rebels to see that the noise on TV is just not true.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Now the reality
We
is,
lived it the other day.
right, these young men, 12, black African-American young men come up to play baseball.
Right,
We got 12 white guys over there playing baseball.
right.
We got a black head coach, white head coach. We got fans, pretty white bleachers. We got this is serious, right, Rick?
Yeah.
We sat with those fans.
And the
Redan,
country music going
we had the
loud and
country
hard.
music going loud. We had the whole other side, Redan Raiders, right? Not a noise.
Well, not an
Respect.
unkind word.
Enjoying the game.
What music were they listening to?
No, what do you understand the point I'm making?
Yeah.
If you would have been there, you would have walked away and saying, that noise on TV, they're creating that. They're creating the chaos. They're creating you got it, Jane?
I got it.
Mind manipulation.
I think we all know that. It's just like low information voters don't ever have that sense, though.
I think you
Low
were right.
what they're
information
fed.
people don't know it.
I don't think you're wrong. I think you're 100% right here with us four. We know that. But I'll speak for Rick and I. We actually enjoyed getting to be a part of that and looking around and say it. You know what I'm saying?
If you were to just listen to the television and attempt to believe what they're saying, you would think that those people coming in were the ones that are being held down on the plantation.
They want them
Exactly.
to believe that still.
That's exactly right.
That's the storyline.
Not one of those people think that they're being held down on the plantation. They're living.
No,
They're
they
living
don't.
large.
We need to get
they're
Candace
living-
Owens on the show. Let's call her.
You know what I did when I had several of my new, and I'll say it now. I think we may have several of my new Redan Raider friends that I talked to for a long time after that last game, and I told them, I said, now I got a morning show. Okay, what do you? I said, but listen, I'm gonna say like baseball. Before you step in that box, you need to know I'll throw the curveball, boy, and you better be ready. But so anyhow, Jane, let's change the subject. Give us something you wanted to talk about this morning, because I do want to back away just a little bit. What is going on? What is going on out there that you said this morning you want to make sure we highlight or look at?
Well, I had a thought about what Bill said about the measles thing. Just want to say, some people think, well, it's a fact because I just asked him on the way out. If you have natural immunity, this isn't political, but I just want to get this out. If you have natural immunity like we do, because we were back in the dark ages and we all had measles and we didn't go to school and then we went to school. So now we have natural immunity. That is much stronger and more effective than an immunization shot that kids are getting now. So some people say that the measles are exploding because now these children who never had the measles only are inoculated for them and their immunity isn't as good. And then in the countries where they don't inoculate, you can just check it out. They don't have measles much because they don't have problems with measles and they don't have as many because they got them when they were a child. They had the natural immunity. So people need to look into all that stuff. I know that's not what you wanted to hear.
No,
I
don't
just need
say
a
that. Don't say
a
that.
balanced argument here.
No, don't say that's not what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear what you wanted to bring.
I thought of
because
something, but I already forgot.
You
I'll
guys
think
come
about it
every
in a minute.
Friday morning and you put your time in and you do study these things, and the people out there want to hear it. So, measles was your thing this morning?
I got something really big, but I forgot it. I'll think of it in a minute. I'll raise my hand.
I have a question. How is it that big and you forgot it?
Easy.
No, I was getting ready to say. Is this what do they call osmosis? So I got
osmosis.
something big. What?
Senility was more
We're going with
closer
that.
to it. No, I'm
Bruce,
getting forgetful. But
What's
I'll think
going
of it.
on this week that you've been paying attention to or you focused on? And I appreciate you guys stepping in
Oh,
Wednesday morning.
okay, go ahead.
You done buzzed out?
I know. I'll do it next time.
Just don't forget.
Yeah, all right. California. Remember California.
They signed the heartbeat bill. So
Yes.
yes. Can you talk a little bit about that? I mean, ramifications and
I'm going to throw it out there without notes. I think it's HB 481. Okay. Representative Ed Setzler from Ackworth introduced the bill in the House of Representatives. It is I'm going to go with 5, and off the top of my head, Ohio, Mississippi, Iowa.
there's 8.
Is there 8? Are we up to 8?
There is 8.
But Georgia joined.
Texas, Louisiana.
Joined one of 8 this past week. And I'm glad you said that because I want to highlight some things. That bill came into the House of Representatives, and if you know what the state House of Representatives is like, these bills have to go through committees, judicial committees, and they got to pass all kinds of tests to get onto the floor. The Speaker of the House, not speaking for him, but the Speaker of the House, David Ralston, a lot of times will not let a bill, and this is my opinion, will not let a bill go through committee that just does not see the light of day or stand a chance. So
Why waste the time?
right, why you got so many bills you can get through in a session, period. Moving right along from that, he decided early on, and he said this in an interview, that he felt this decision on, he's pro-life, he has said that himself, but he felt this decision was up to the House of Representatives, Georgia House of Representatives, and he had to bring it to a floor and let them decide. So it went through committee, 481, and I know this is long, but there's a lot of information people need to know. It went on the floor of the House, and it passed. Then it goes over to the Senate, and I want to give a shout out to Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan that presides over your state Senate, and our state Senator Gooch that was involved. It goes over to Senate, and what they do then is they tweak it a little, they make some changes, nothing big, and they pass it and send it back to the House. Now, when it went back to the House, I think we all know Alyssa Milano and Hollywood, and the reason I'm building this up is because this is bigger than people really get their heads around. So all of them, the Capitol was absolutely packed. Okay, I think the Speaker of the House made a comment that he doesn't listen to Rosie O'Donnell, and he doesn't listen to these left-wing people from Hollywood. Not to quote him, but he listens to the people of Georgia. And they brought it back on the floor. Actually, they did not tell the time in county security. So the second time it went on the floor for a vote, they actually were not announcing the time it was going to go up, and they were bouncing it back and forth because there were security reasons on the floor because the place was packed. Wow. So it goes back on the floor. I'm getting there, and they pass it. Now it goes to the governor's desk, our new governor, Brian Kemp. And this is where the only thing I got to say is guts. I mean, guts, conviction.
He ran on
nerve,
that premise.
Right.
Yeah.
The guts, everything. Because, first of all, and I'm glad you brought that up, when he was candidate, Brian Kemp, he was in our office right up here in North Georgia, and he sat this close to me in an interview. And I know he's asked this all across the state, but you remember that day, I asked him, I said, if you become governor, will you join other states in signing a fetal heartbeat bill? Remember, very clear. And he didn't flinch. If I'm sitting this close to you and I ask you a question, I can actually tell how long it takes you to answer. I can tell. This guy, this close to me, was on it. Okay, so bringing that up, he made the promise. Now, the other thing is, when I say guts, the movie industry in Georgia is a $9 billion industry. It's $9 billion. Well, there was several that claimed we will leave. This is going to kill the movie. There's all this negativity. So this governor is sitting with all this pressure, all these threats, security, and everything, and he signed the bill. And I know that was a big build-up for me. That was amazing. Now I'm gonna give you what was bigger than signing the bill in a minute. Okay. So he signs the heartbeat bill. He signs the heartbeat bill, and we're going to probably be part of history in this country of a Supreme Court decision, and it will be a big move of maybe not overturning but dismantling Roe v. Wade.
It's coming.
And Georgia, Brian Kemp is going to be one of the governors, and I understand, not reading all the other bills, that we now have the strictest, I guess that's the word it is, abortion law in the United States. And it's the fetal heartbeat bill, meaning when they could detect the heartbeat, and it can
3
be
weeks, 4 weeks.
It can be as early as 6. That's usually.
I thought you could maybe 4.
But it's the.
I don't know.
But it is the detection of the heartbeat.
Early.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And after that, no abortion. But I'm going to tell you, not what was, I guess, next step. When I say bigger, to me, I think it's terrible that states have not. will not allow faith-based adoptions. That bothers me, okay? Now, 2 years ago, we had a bill on the floor for faith-based adoptions, and if memory serves me right, it was at that time State Senator David Schaefer. And he's no longer state senator. He ran for lieutenant governor, but State Senator David Schaefer is adopted, and he's got a great story he tells about that. But anyhow, we had a faith-based adoption bill, which Catholic Charities. They do not grant adoptions to same-sex couples, okay? But it doesn't mean adoption agencies cannot exist that will. So if you have a faith-based adoption agency and you go in, you're a same-sex couple, all they do is say, hey, here's a list of 5 other places that'll be glad to talk with you,
Yeah.
But in our state, we don't have that. In a lot of states, they don't. So I didn't mean to get that in there, but what I'm getting to is Governor Kemp said, if you go back and watch when he signed that, he said, this is just the beginning. And I'm going to tell you, I get teared up. I get excited about it because the guy said, this is just the beginning. He said, adoptions is next. And it just meant so much. So I'm sorry I gave you that.
No,
whole
that's-
thing.
You know, what's
I didn't
interesting
know
is, where's Alabama going with this? They're trying to pass
That's supposed to be even tougher
That's
than
even
Georgia.
tougher. I think the Alabama statute that they're trying to pass to criminalize anybody that performs an abortion.
Right, exactly.
That's what it
Now, they
used to be.
postponed the vote on that, and I don't know why, but the vote was supposed to happen this
Because it
week,
Probably wouldn't have passed.
and they postponed it for some reason, so.
These, and another thing, take the time out there. We don't have the time here, but I'm going to tell all of you, take the time, Google it. And when I say guts, Ed Setzler, the representative down in Ackworth, the representatives that voted for it, the Speaker of the House, the Lieutenant Governor, the senators, they're under extreme attack right now, and because we handle things different, and I don't know how to even put it. And if you guys got the words, and you can take what I'm trying to say
We
and
meaning
put it
whom?
together. Us,
Okay.
Republicans, conservatives,
Okay.
this group. Democrats or that side of activists, they get angry and violent.
Over the simplest thing you're trying to discuss.
And actually, I am concerned about these lawmakers that did go through with this, because if
Yeah.
you will read, it's pretty rough out there, some of the things that are being said. I got a text,
is.
I got a Facebook, I'll pull it up in the break, but I got a tweet post that I will pull up in the break, okay? And when we come back, I will read where it was very ugly on social media concerning Brian Kemp, Ralston, and all of them, and kind of a scary tweet that's out there in the world. So that's the thing with me, guys. I want you guys to get you guys subject. Bruce had California. We got to come back to Jane. I'm sorry, sir. and I remember you said say California.
California, I did. Well, I'm sure you saw that the California legislature, they have presented a bill. I don't think they passed it yet, that if Trump doesn't bring us 5 years of his tax returns, they're not going to
He's not
put
gonna be
him
on
on
the
the
ballot.
ballot.
Well, wait a
How
minute. Let's
in
double
the-
down.
I mean, can that happen?
No.
No, wait
I
a
didn't
minute.
think
Wait
so,
a
but I
minute.
was
Wait a
gonna
minute.
ask you.
You don't know how you did an outstanding job. Let's double down. What did New York do this?
I don't know.
New York passed, and it's going to the assembly, and it is Democrat, so it may pass. New York said, hey, Nadler, you guys don't worry. Now, we can't do the federal tax returns, but we're passing a law
Oh.
that we have to give you his state tax return.
That we have to.
Yeah,
A
New
law
York.
that we have to.
If you request, we have to give it to you. So New York is trying to give them Trump state tax returns.
Or they won't let them
Now-
on the ballot?
Huh?
Or they won't let them on the ballot?
No, it's not on the ballot. Just if you request Trump's tax returns, you get them.
And,
I'm
and
serious.
so they will go to
Oh, by the way, did anybody tell you Trump lost a couple bucks?
betting on what?
No, he lost
Yeah.
like 10 billion or something.
Yeah,
I
we-
don't know. It's a joke.
We
a
knew
billion.
that 30 years ago,
Yeah,
so
right.
what?
Thank you.
What are they looking for? That he's done something illegal? What are they
Jane, I
looking for?
told you, 10,000 people at Panama Beach showed up this week and were demanding his tax returns.
But
It's
what,
crazy.
what are
It is
they
crazy.
looking for in the returns? Because I'm sure he's been audited. He's perpetually audited, they say. And what do they think they're going to find? It's just something they can.
They're looking for him, they're looking some kind of a trail to show that
He's a
he is
gangster.
aligned with some foreign power, that he's taking money from them
Right.
for some reason.
Yeah,
They're just
banks
trying-
or
Deutsche
you know,
Bank.
oligarchs or whatever.
Yeah.
Let me say this. Okay. The
drink to
Washington,
that.
the New
drink to
York
that.
Times broke this story, and sources leaked this information, and they leaked these worksheets off of tax returns that they were able to put together these numbers that he lost $1 billion between this year and this decade. Okay.
85 to 94.
Now, so that
was a
really
bad
says
time for him.
Jerry Nadler, the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Ways and Means. I forget the guys. That's not Nadler. Ways and Means. That's who is over the Treasury and the IRS. They want the tax returns. But let me tell you, if there is a law that they can request tax returns, if it's relevant to an investigation or something they're doing. So they want the tax returns. If they get them, it's against the law for them to disclose the information. Really, it's not going to leak.
Right.
And I don't
Really?
understand how this New York Times employee hasn't been charged with releasing someone else's tax information.
I tell you what, out there in
Why is she not
America,
arrested?
out there in America, you brought up California. Now, what you said on the ballot, I think Colorado's on that too. They're working on it. If you do that, you're going to find more in California, what you brought up. Yeah, they're working on trying to keep him off the ballot.
Well, I've
Can't
heard
happen, though.
federally they can't do
It's a
it.
federal
They-
election.
they-
What if they just
And-
go against it and print the ballots and don't put him in?
And, I
What
mean,
if they
if
just do
you know,
that?
for whatever reason, they found some judge that said they can do it,
In California,
basically,
probably.
I think the Federal Election Committee could cut off the state from the Electoral College vote.
Well, they're
So
waiting.
that means their votes,
They're
the
waiting.
electoral wouldn't
They're
count.
waiting out there. So let me roll a couple just quick things. You did hear Trump lost some money this week, right? Okay, so
heard that.
You did hear that your attorney general is now in contempt, right, for not releasing the unredacted
Illegally.
report and
It's been recommended. It hasn't
wait a
come to a
minute.
House
For
floor.
not
And-
breaking the law.
Yeah. Breaking
and the underlying evidence. Never miss that unredacted report. Never miss that second part. Underlying evidence. What they want. Oh, these jackasses. What they want is they want the dollies of boxes of every single thing Mueller has, not the 450 pages. They want, like, okay, Don McGahn did 30 hours of interview, right? So what is the transcript on that sucker? This tall?
Probably.
Right? Well, when you take McGann's 30 hours of testimony and the transcript's this tall, and you get it down into 450, McGann gets 10 pages. But they want the 30 hours.
The big stack.
Right. They want
Redo.
boxes, right?
call it.
They call it the underlying evidence, so they can leak something on a daily basis. It's
All the way up until the next election.
It's Tuesday, and Trump supersized that McDonald's meal, and we know it. So you do know your attorney general's in contempt.
Yes, we know.
Will not release. Okay, so I'm just making sure you're up on all this. What are we missing here? They want the tax returns.
Is Mueller going to testify?
Now that's when it's going to get
Mueller, we want Mueller to testify for one reason only, and I'll tell you
But
that
it could
in a minute.
backfire, you know that.
Guys, we're going to take a brief break. Let's make
we
it
just
short.
got going.
We are, but wait, before we do, Lonnie, I invited a guy up here, and in one of these days, he will be very flattered by this.
Is that
He's a
he?
nice young man, okay, whether he likes it or not.
Is that he?
All right, yeah, that's Richie Stone.
Richie, hey.
Richie, but let me say this.
He used to work aboard.
Let me say, could you guys not have a conversation while I'm trying to close?
We're trying to place Richie.
Let me say this. How are the elections going to go in Georgia? How is the Republican Party in Georgia? Are they ready in Georgia? Richie is the chairman of the Gilmer County Republican Party. We'll ask him a couple of those questions, and also he's going to give us an update on the Gilmer County Republican Party
Where are you going to sit?
graduation grant.
Where's he going to sit?
Scholarship. Sorry about that. Take a break. Richie's going to come in here.
Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in J next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in J next to Walmart.
Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and J, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.